Okay, so just like to welcome you once again to the Nantwich Buddies Volunteer Expo, and tonight we've got Kedron Elliott, who is my very dear friend and also colleague who's helping me run the Buddies now. She has had lots of experience in mental health, both personally and also professionally. She's recently trained as a counsellor, and is also working for Mind in North Staffs actually. So she's going to talk to us tonight about the 5 steps to mental well-being. Over to you, Keds.
Thank you very much, Liz. Liz, let us know when you passed host duties over so I can share my screen as well.
Okay.
So as Liz has just mentioned, I'm helping Liz with coordinating the Buddies, but also currently work for North Staffs Mind. So I've been there for about 2.5 years now, first and foremost as a volunteer counsellor while I was getting my qualification to be a counsellor, and more recently working in the fundraising team, but as you imagine, not so much fundraising is going on at the moment. I'm passionate about mental health, as Liz said, having experienced challenging times in my own life, as many of us we have, and having had good and bad therapy during those times as well, but also to be able to make mental health, you know, really easy for everybody, that there's little everyday things that people can do to help them during this challenging time. So apologies if I'm teaching you some of you to suck eggs, because you may be familiar with the 5 steps to wellness, which is very much used across many mental health services. National Mind, North Staffs Mind is a local mind that's based in Hanley that sit underneath the National Mental Health Charity, and also the NHS. So the 5 ways to well-being were researched and developed back in 2008. So they've been around for a little while now by the New Economics Foundation. And they were a set of evidence-based public health messages around improving the mental health and well-being of the whole population. So simple things that people can do. Simple ways to help individuals understand and incorporate well-being into their everyday lives. And I believe that mental health doesn't have to be complicated. And I'll talk a little bit about what Liz and I are also doing as part of the Nantwich Buddies at the end of the presentation, about what else we're doing to help the community as well. So as Liz has also already mentioned, now at this time when we're all having to stay at home and isolate and socially distance from people, some people are starting to turn to the 5 ways in order to help them cope during the pandemic. But it's also important to note that well-being is only possible after some basic needs are met for people. So there's still wider changes that need to happen to ensure that people's income, that their homes and that their lives are secure during this time, unprecedented time, but at any time really, in order for them to then think about the 5 steps to well-being and how they can incorporate those into their everyday lives. So I'm going to share my screen with you now to kind of go through the presentation. I hope it's not going to be too much death by PowerPoint. Just to share the 5 steps, and as we go through the 5 steps, it'll be great to hear from you guys as well about things that you do to help you with your mental health, because everybody is different things work for different people, and it's also being able to incorporate these things into your lives as able as you are to do it. So when we get to things like physical activities and things, it's knowing what your limits are and what kind of things you can do. And it doesn't mean going to the gym every day or running a marathon. It's anything that gets your heart rate going. So what are the 5 steps? So the 5 steps start off with number 1, being connected. So there's lots of different ways that people are being connected now while we can't be with our loved ones, but having human connection, and I'm a real big believer of that, is really important to our mental well-being. So it's talking, listening to people, being there, feeling connected, whether it's face-to-face or via Zoom. And as you guys, a majority of you are volunteers in some way, you'll be connecting to your fellow volunteers and to the people that you're looking after as well, and that can give you a real sense of achievement and connection while you're helping people as well. Step 2 is being active. So it's doing what you can, as I said, everybody's different abilities. Enjoying what you do. There's no point in doing an activity that you hate, because it's not going to be sustainable in the long run. And moving to help with your mood, your physical activity is great for your physical well-being, but also your mental well-being as well. So being active can be a great way of helping with both your physical and your mental wellness too. Taking notice, so it's more recently been labeled as mindfulness. So there's lots of different things you can do to be mindful, but it's just simply remembering the things that give you joy. So perhaps sometimes we take little things for being granted, and I think during this pandemic and during the time when we've all had to change our lives in different ways, taking notice of those little things that can really help you with your mental well-being. So having a roof over your head, having food on the table, looking at those little things that we might take for granted, and noticing them and being grateful for them can really help with your mental health too. Giving. So you guys and people that are all giving at the moment, because you're all volunteers, so it doesn't have to be monetary or giving people presents or anything. It can be your time, so you'll all be giving your time as volunteers. Your words, so just saying to somebody thank you, or being kind to somebody and letting them know that you appreciate them. And your presence. Sometimes people get really worried about supporting somebody and knowing what to say to them, and sometimes people don't want you to be able to fix the things that they're going through. Just sometimes people just want somebody to be there and to listen to them. So giving all of those things can be really valuable to somebody, and not only to help them with their mental health well-being, but also to yours as well. And the last one is keep learning. So you're all here today to learn. Hopefully you'll take something away from today's session about things that you can do to help with your mental well-being, but also suggestions that you can give to other people as well. And it's embracing new experiences and seeing them as opportunities too. Coming along to the workshops, an opportunity for you guys to learn something and take something away, and also surprising yourself, because I know sometimes I worry about trying something new and maybe stepping out of my own comfort zones and thinking I might not be able to do things or pick things up. But by participating in things like learning, drawing, social media, all these things that are all at our fingertips now, by doing them will help you get better at them. We're not all just born being able to do all these things straight away. Practice makes perfect. So learning new things is going to help you get better at those as well. And we'll make mistakes. We're all human, aren't we? I'm probably going to drop a few balls while I'm doing this session on Zoom. There's always something to be learned and to do better. So those are the 5 steps, and we're going to go through each one of those, and I can send you the presentation. I can see a few of you making notes after this session as well, so you've got something to refer back to if you want to. So we're going to go into each of those 5 steps, and after we talk a little bit more in depth about them, I'm going to ask you about like ways that you connect or ways that you get active that help you with your mental health, because as I said, different things work for different people, so it'd be great to hear from you guys about what helps you and why you volunteer as well. So step 1, being connected. So connecting with other people. Good relationships are really important for your mental well-being, whether you're connecting via Zoom, but I'm a big believer in that face-to-face connection. And while we've been in lockdown, we haven't been able to offer face-to-face counselling to our clients at North Staff's Mind, and we've had to do them over Zoom or via telephone, which works a lot for some people, but sometimes people are stuck at home and haven't got somewhere that is private and confidential for them to talk to, so people have been sat in their cars. But you connect with however we can, and we've all probably found new ways of connecting to people during the pandemic as well. So good relationships can really help you build a sense of belonging and self-worth as well, having those connections with people and having a laugh or joke with people, whether you've seen them recently or, you've always got those friends that maybe you haven't seen for a little while, but when you see them, it's like you just saw them the day before. It's just, those really good friends that you have. give you an opportunity to share positive experiences, and that goes both ways as well. Good friends are going to be there for you in the bad times and the good times, so share your positive experiences with them, and equally they're going to do the same for you as well, and be really happy for them when they do that as well. It's going to help you provide emotional support and allow you to support others as well. So, you know, as your part in buddies activities and volunteer activities, helping support people probably gives you a little bit of something and connection with those people, and also helps you with feeling like that you've achieved something or done something great during that day. And there are lots of things you could try to help build stronger relationships and closer relationships to those that you want to as well. So, you know, build your connections and those people around you who you get that connection with, that you know, surround yourself with positive people that that are going to help you be the best that you can as well. So there's loads of stuff here that we can do. You're volunteering already, so that's a great way of connecting with people, and if possible, it's taking the time every day to be with your family or your friends. You know, for example, trying to arrange a fixed time to eat dinner with people, so you've got that time with everybody, and to find out how their day was and to share with them how your day was as well. Arranging times and days out with friends when you can, that you haven't seen for a little while. So whether it's you know, having lunch with them, going out and making that time, or you know, getting some time in the diaries further down the line, because everybody's busy nowadays, just to make sure that you've got a time that you can connect with them as well. I know something we're all guilty of, and myself as well, is thinking is spending with time with people, but maybe you're just sat watching the TV, or you're all sat in the living room looking at your phones or your tablets. So it's taking time out from social media that can really occupy a lot of our time, and making sure you're connecting with people that you're sat in the room with as well. And also, on the flip side of that, using technology while we can't go out there and spend time with people face to face that we love, and using video chat and Skype and FaceTime and Zoom as well is a great way of connecting with people when you live far apart or you can't be with them as well. So I'm going to open up after the first step of ways of well-being, and ask you guys about how you can keep connected with people. How do you find ways to connect with people that help you with your mental health, but also might help them as well? What kind of things do you guys do?
Mine isn't so much connected with people. Well, I suppose it is in my household. It's going for a sort of family walk, or walk with my husband if I can, get out, get some fresh air.
Yeah, absolutely. Going out for a walk, so you're away from all those distractions. I have a stepdaughter who's 16. She spends an awful lot of time in a room, but we make sure we have dinner all together in the evening when we can, so we can check out how her day is and things. So yeah, absolutely.
I've got, in this second phase of lockdown, I've made a pact with myself and my dog that not only will we go out every day, but we will try and meet up with somebody, or at least phone somebody while I'm on my dog walk. So today we met up with someone and walked. It was a friend I've not seen for ages. I'm meeting somebody on Friday, and then yeah, I just make sure I phone somebody and actually be in the moment, you know, present, talking to them, because I do find, and Kedrin probably knows I'm guilty of this, is sometimes I can be a bit distracted and be doing other things while I'm on the phone.
Oh,
I find walking the dog is a great time when I'm on my own, is a great time to have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm making an effort to phone people regularly. I have my uncle recently died, and I'm phoning his remaining sister much more often than I usually do. There's a couple of other people, and I find they always say they'll ring next time, but they don't. So it's always me that makes the call. But I'm always glad that I have, and they seem to be glad as well, because they've always got things to tell me, or just to share, or to tell me. So the phone has been quite useful. Yeah.
Phone calls are a funny thing, aren't they? Because I find, and I do this with work, you know, we're always pinging emails back to each other, but my word, I've just so much appreciated like picking up the phone and having a conversation. And I do that a lot more. I do it with colleagues as well, because we work across Cheshire, and I found instead of clogging up the inbox, I've been picking up the phone and having a nice chat with somebody and getting an answer quickly.
And having a laugh. If you talk to somebody on the phone, you can actually laugh together, and that's lovely.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Definitely, that should be step 6, having a laugh together.
Well,
what I say, laughter is the best medicine, isn't it?
Yeah. Interestingly, for my team of 13 of us, for the job that I do for the Cheshire Pledge, we have team meetings every single morning at 10 o'clock, and we have a bit of a joke and stuff, but they are very structured, and our boss is always good at keeping us on target and on task and whatever. But we've got a little breakaway group, and we're organising the virtual Christmas party. So last Thursday night we had a 4-hour Zoom call with a glass of wine, but we had such a laugh. And these are girls that, you know, I've not worked with I've not seen in person since March, and didn't particularly know them that well because we'd only started working together a few months before we went into lockdown. But we absolutely, all of us said, right, we've got to do this more regularly, and at least every fortnight do this little fun session.
Yeah, and I think once you get that going, it's just doing that first. And you know, we're all busy. Not everybody can attend every week, but you know, you get as many people as you can together.
Yeah,
thanks
I've done that. Sorry, Kedron, I was just going to say that I'm keeping in touch with friends and family, of course, but as Liz says with her work colleagues, it's been really important to stay in touch with them because we're all working from home now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been really important to have regular Zoom calls with them because we're all missing that particular environment, you know, the social interaction of the workplace. And that's been something quite new, you know, sort of communicating with work colleagues during this pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just saying to my colleague today that while I've been working from home, she's probably one of the only people I speak to at the office. So I really need to make that connection with others. Yeah. So you don't lose that. So yeah, thanks, Sarah. That's a really important point. And the next slide was just to say about things not to do. But Liz, you've just added that about it's easy to get into the habit of just texting people and messaging or emailing. But like you say, you can't have a laugh and a joke with them, and we sometimes become a little bit reliant on technology. But it's not the best way to connect with people. It's great. There's lots of great things about technology, but nothing beats having a laugh and a joke with somebody face to face or over the phone.
Yeah, definitely.
Very true.
So step 2 is about physical activity. So one of the things that you also might not know about me is I used to be a slimming world consultant. And something we talk about quite a lot during group was something called body magic that we used to call physical activity. And we used to say to members, you know, it doesn't have to be going to the gym or running a marathon every day. It's something that gets your heart rate going. So it's great for your physical health and your fitness, but evidence has also shown that it can improve your mental well-being as well, because sometimes we don't feel like doing it and we might feel tired, but it will actually boost your energy. So it will help raise your self-esteem because you can set yourself mini goals or challenges and achieve them. So there's lots of apps and things out there like Couch to 5K and Joe Wicks and Davina McCall, and loads of people are doing online exercises and things that you could do via Zoom. It does actually cause chemical changes to your brain, which will help you to have positively change your mood. It will release those feel-good endorphins. So I'm a big believer in doing physical exercise that can help you. And again, it's finding something that you enjoy and something that you can incorporate regularly. So whether it's going out for a walk or walking the dog, as Liz has said, or doing yoga, all these kind of things can fit in. Even like, you know, doing the dishes or cleaning the house can be quite physical. So how can you get active if you're a little bit of a newbie and you don't fancy going to the gym and stuff? Well, there's loads of free activities that you can find online to do in the comfort of your own home. Maybe finding somebody to do it with you, so that, you know, if you're going to the gym on your own or doing an exercise class on your own, it's very easy just to not go one week. But if you've made that commitment to go with your friend, you don't want to let them down. So maybe get someone to help and G you up a little bit. if you've got a disability or a long-term health condition, there's lots of things out there about getting active with a disability. So contact your local gym. There's lots of different things that you can do. We had somebody contact us about walking netball, or there was like walking rounders. There's lots of different things that people can do that will find out what level of ability you are to enable to find something that's going to be right for you. I've also just talked about, Couch to 5K. There's lots of apps and podcasts out there that you can do that's going to help you with your motivation. You can find out how to start swimming, cycling or dancing. So Nantwich, the same as Congleton where I live, there's running clubs that you can join. There's a great running club in Nantwich I used to go to called South Cheshire Harriers, and they have lots of different groups. It's a big running group that you can join if you've never run before. They do like walk run groups that you can join, and lots of areas like in Cheshire East and things that can find out about getting started with exercise if you've never done it, because it can be quite a scary thing. Don't feel that you have to spend hours, as I said, in the gym. It's best to find activities that you enjoy and to make them a real part of your life as well. So it's finding something that you can do regularly. So I'm going to open it up to the floor again and ask, what do people do to help them? Or is there any classes that you guys have done at home or before lockdown that you found that you've really enjoyed?
Before lockdown, I was doing outdoor yoga.
Oh, yeah.
So I've done loads of indoor yoga over my life, but yeah, this is a new thing that started in Wrenbury. Unfortunately, it's obviously not running at the moment, but it's in a field full of sheep as well, so it's quite entertaining.
Sheep yoga.
But yeah, it brings a whole new dimension because you get in the fresh air as well, and instead of, say, the four walls of a village hall or something, you've got that nice open aspect. So I'd really recommend that.
I like the sound of that. You're connecting with nature as well. There's something
Absolutely.
about being outside which is very good for your mental health. And
especially when she does the relaxation sessions at the end and the meditation and visualization, you can hear the birds, and she talks about listening for all the different noises, and you can really sort of immerse yourself in the environment.
That's my favorite part about doing yoga, that bit at the end where you get to relax.
Well, again, good incentive, like you say. It doesn't have to be all hard work, does it?
No, exactly, yeah. Thanks, Jane, that's great. Anyone else want to add anything to
does anybody know a beginner's yoga club? I've never done yoga. Is there a way to start it online?
There's a lovely lady called Rae Smith. I can send you her link. Rae Smith. She's doing a lot of yoga classes online. I haven't actually done any myself, but I know she is a busy. She'll take you from the basics up, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Liz, there's also quite a lot on the NHS website of all sorts of exercise classes, and that includes yoga in the various levels. You can do it online.
Oh, right, okay. The actual classes are provided, are they?
Yeah,
cool.
on the. I'm sure it was the NHS at the beginning of lockdown. I thought I'd try yoga. It didn't last very long, sadly, but I'm sure that was the NHS website. They've got lots of different exercise classes, including yoga, and lots of different levels, I think, if I remember rightly.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I know at the beginning of lockdown, Navina McCall was doing a month free to her website, and yoga was one of those, and there was different levels that you could do, and it started off from the very basics of doing like 5, 10 or 15 minutes. I'm not sure if she's still doing free ones, but there was different levels that you could do, which was great.
YouTube is full of free exercise. Just search on YouTube. I follow, it's not yoga, I've done yoga. I was doing yoga, I worked for the Manchester University, and they put classes on. So before lockdown, I was doing, I think it's Hatha yoga, which was quite enjoyable. And then obviously that ended when lockdown happened. So I searched YouTube and found lots of different classes for beginners to intermediate to, experts. So, but there's a lady that I'm following at the moment. Am I unmuted there? Yeah. And she does 7 minutes to 20 minutes to 30 minutes, 10 minutes. So whatever time you can fit in, different workouts, and she'll give she'll give an easy option and a more difficult option on the screen. Again, that's free. So YouTube is brilliant. I think.
Yeah, that's really helpful, Tracy. Thank you. Just so you're aware, I've googled it, and you're absolutely right. There's loads on the NHS website, all free videos. I've just put the link into the chat room, so just follow the link, and you will be able to see them. But yeah, brilliant. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks everyone. There's loads of resources there, so great if anyone wants to start doing a little bit of yoga. So step 3 for our 5 ways to wellness is take notice, or mindfulness. I think we talked a little bit about that, because part of that would be mindfulness at the end of your yoga as well. So it's paying attention to the present moment can improve your mental well-being, because so many of us worry about the future, especially at the moment, or we maybe have things that happened to us in the past, but all we really have is right now, and being present in that moment and not letting our mind wander to what could be, what has been, that kind of stuff. And it's hard to do if you're somebody who is a worrier. I'm a bit of a worrier. So this includes your thoughts and your feelings and your body and the world around us. And yoga is a lot of that, about being very much in the present of the moment and taking notice of how you're feeling physically, as well as mentally as well. So some people call this awareness mindfulness. We talked about a little bit as well, and it can help you enjoy life more and understand yourself better as well. So a lot of that self-awareness, and understanding why you might be dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, and not ignoring it, because sometimes ignoring it makes it worse, but it's recognizing it and looking a little bit more in depth about why you might be worrying about these things. So it can really positively change the way you feel about life and how you approach these challenges, and to help you stop worrying so much. And there's lots of good things again online about reading about mindfulness and steps you can take to be more mindful in everyday life. Some of the things that I've found is there's lots of mindfulness apps out there. So again, using technology, or there's little things that you can do at home, like having a gratitude journal, which is a great one. Some of the ones that I've come across and I've used personally have been things like Calm, Headspace, or Budify. Again, some of these you pay a little bit of money for, and some of them you can use to are free to help you, and they will give you like little mindful exercises, or like guided meditation that you can use that will help you come into the present moment. The Budify one is really good, because you can go in there specifically and say, I'm feeling really stressed at the moment and I want something to help me feel less stressed, or really specify on a mindful exercise to help you with how you're feeling at that time. Have any of you guys used any mindfulness apps or ways of kind of centering yourself and helping you get out of maybe being in that state of being really worried about something that's really helped you?
Yeah, I've used the first 2. I like Headspace quite a lot.
Same. I use Headspace.
I've never used one.
Yeah, a few people have used Headspace, I hear there. It might be, and again, it's finding something that works quite right with you, but also I think finding the time to do it, where you've got no other distractions, or you're not worrying about what the kids are having for dinner or what you've got to do tomorrow. It's really trying to cut out all of that noise that happens in our mind and just focus on just being present at that time. And it's something that gets better the more you do it, because our mind is thinking about things, so many different things. It might be something that you might need to practice, because Liz, this is something that you might need to practice, because you talked about being distracted. You're always very busy.
Downloading it now.
Oh, fab. So yeah,
out of those 3 then, which would people recommend? Calm, Headspace, and Budify, does that say?
Budify, it's called.
Budify.
Yeah.
Oh.
Personally, Headspace for me, I think I don't know if it's still the same, but you usually get 10 free sessions with Headspace. Yeah. So you do get the chance to practice it, and you can keep repeating that, or you can subscribe after the 10, and then you get choices. I think you've just said then, didn't you, Kedron, about where you can choose specific how you're feeling. You get that with Headspace as well, and it will give you, for instance, if you're feeling sad, you can actually choose that and then do X amount of sessions about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I find it really good.
Yeah, I think with a lot of these, you get a certain so many free, and then if you're finding it's really useful, you can pay for to access more. There's another one that I just come across recently, but I haven't used, which is called Insight Timer. Don't know if anyone's heard of that. And again, it seems like there's an awful lot of stuff that you can access on there for free, over 65,000 titles, it says. But I think you've got access to a certain amount, and then you'd have to pay for further ones, but that looks to be quite good. And there's music on there that you could put on, like, you know, if you're having trouble getting to sleep, pop on like a music mindfulness sort of thing, and that will help you just, you know, switch off at the end of the day.
Yeah, lots of podcasts and things like that on Spotify as well, if you use Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify's great for things like that, and podcasts as well. There's so much stuff out there for free. I'll tell you about a new podcast soon as well. So when I get to the end, we've got something else to share with you. So mindfulness, yeah, taking notice is step 3. Step 4 is all about giving. So you're all volunteers, so you're already doing that, giving to others, whether it's your time, words of kindness, or just your presence, being there for people is a great way to give to others. And you can do that in a variety of different ways. So research suggests that the acts of giving and kindness can help improve your own mental health, as obviously as the mental health of the people that you're helping too. It can create a positive feeling and a sense of reward or of achievement that you've done, you've helped somebody, giving you a feeling of purpose and self-worth, helping you connect with other people. So it's tying in one of those other steps as well, connecting with those people and helping them. And it could be anything from a small act of kindness towards other people, or larger ones like volunteering in your local community, which a lot of you are doing now. So things you could try. So saying thank you to somebody for something that they've done for you. You know, how often is it that we get to, you know, be kind to people? What I really used to love about doing Miss Slimming World classes is that we always used to do members competitions, and one of them would be like a Woman of the Year. And so you'd nominate somebody in a group who's doing fantastically, but you'd also nominate them and say the reasons why. So it could be somebody in group that you find really inspirational. And I know lots of inspirational people. I think Liz is a very inspirational person, but she probably doesn't know it. She probably doesn't think she's inspirational. So it doesn't to remind people when they're doing a great job and really helping and motivating you as well. Asking friends or family or colleagues how they are and really listening to their answer. So, you know, quite often, and we did this on the listening skills with Jan, is quite often people are always thinking about what their response is going to be to somebody or how they can help them, but just really taking the step back and listening to what that person is saying, rather than thinking about what your response is going to be, and listening to them, reflecting back on what they're saying to you as well, can be really helpful for somebody to know that they're being listened to, and acknowledging, you know, how they're feeling as well. Spending time with friends or relatives who need support or company, so you're already doing that in a volunteer capacity, really helping them, and offering to help somebody, you know, with maybe DIY or a work project. So, you know, we're all good at different things and we can't be good at everything. So knowing where your skills lie and be able to help people with certain things that they might need help with. Oh, hang on a minute, I'm having trouble with me window. Let me go back a couple of slides. Oh, it's getting away with me. See, I told you, I'm going to make a mistake at some point. And here we go. Yeah, volunteering in your community, such as helping at school, hospital, or care home. So whether you're helping out with Nantwich buddies or Wrenbury buddies, Winbury buddies, get my teeth in. There's loads of stuff that you can do to help feel connected. What's other things that people do then? So I know some of you are buddies, and we've also connected with some of the other support groups. Is there anything else that you guys do to give back to the community or to friends and family that helps?
I ring a lady every Sunday for Age UK, befriend someone. So I ring her at 9:30 every week. She's just a lonely lady who hasn't got anyone in her life. So we've probably been speaking about 1.5 years now.
That's fab. So you've made a real friend, I'd imagine, there as well, if you've had that connection with her for so long.
Yeah, and I'm also just joined as a trustee for Smile. You might have heard of Smile, the charity.
And what does Smile do specifically?
So it helps families, particularly women who suffer from postnatal depression and have challenges in terms of sort of managing parenthood.
And
I heard about Smile for the first time today, about 3 hours ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And do you get a lot of satisfaction, I'd imagine, from that? It helps you feel like you're doing something worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice to sort of network with people with different skills. You can learn from each other. It's very early days with the Smile one, but yeah, but it's I do like the I suppose the warm feeling it gives you of actually making her smile at the end of the phone call. I mean, actually, when I spoke to Gloria on Sunday from the Age UK, she made me laugh hysterically. She started talking about this program on telly, these naked people, and then started. I won't go into detail, but yeah, she was quite funny for quite an elderly woman, shall we say. It was just funny the way she sort of laid it out, and so, yeah, I got hooked with this program, and I was like, well, I can't believe you've been watching that.
Yeah, it's just some surprising sometimes with things that people come out with, isn't it? Really just make you chuckle.
Yeah, very much so. And it can be tough sometimes talking to her, because you think, oh, what am I going to talk to? What am I going to talk to her about? Because sometimes she can be quite negative and, oh, this is the end of me and COVID's going to kill me. And it's hard to sort of respond to that. So you're like, don't talk like that, Gloria, then. What have you been doing? And you just try and sort of get her talking about different things, but it is tough sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did a couple of workshops about that, about thinking what kind of things you can say to people, or again, recognizing and acknowledging that people are feeling like that. Because sometimes that's all they want, is someone to just say, you know, it must be hard and it must be horrible feeling like that.
Yeah.
There was something else I was going to say around volunteering as well. Oh, yeah, one of our other buddies was saying about, you know, actually seeing, or like you said, that somebody's smiling at the end of the phone, or actually if you're going to somebody's house and handing over their shopping and seeing that reaction from them means so much, because that's maybe that you're the first person that they've seen all day, and it means so much. Rather than just putting like a 5p or a 10p in a collection box, you can physically see the difference that you're making to somebody by having that connection with them. It means a lot to people.
Another way of making connections with people, I might suggest, as I've been doing it for a long time, is to become a blood donor.
Oh yeah.
And that is an extraordinary feeling, that you've actually given somebody the chance of living when they were perhaps not going to pull through something. I did it recently, and I got a text about last week just saying, thank you for your pint. It has been issued to a patient in Broad Green Hospital in Liverpool. I thought, well, what more could I want, you know? So I do recommend it if anybody's not done it before. Have a look on blood.co.uk and find out a bit about it. It's a wonderful thing to be able to do.
Yeah, saving somebody's life, Charlotte, that is.
Yes.
Yeah. What more could you give? So thank you very much for participating in that. And that leads us to our last step number 5. So learning a new skill. So I'm hoping, you know, through sharing and some of the things that I've talked about, that you've picked up at least something new to make you think about, even if it's just for your kind of own perspective and mental health, but also for sharing with others. And learning new skills can really help you improve your own mental well-being as well, because it can really boost your confidence. Quite often we might think that we can't learn something new, or something is beyond us. But like I said, with anything, it takes practice, and the more you do something, the better you're going to get at it. And we learn by our mistakes, so not to be knocked back by when we do something wrong. It'll help you again to build a sense of purpose. So, you know, and again, finding something that you enjoy doing, or that really does spark your interest, and helping you connect with others. So we've all connected today about learning stuff and sharing our experiences and things that we do. And, you know, sometimes it's fine trying to find the time. You might feel like that you don't have enough time, or maybe that you don't need to learn new things, but there's lots of different ways to bring learning into your life, whether you're helping somebody else, because you might find that if you're helping somebody else with something, you yourself might learn something new as well. So again, there's loads of different ways to learn new skills. And it could be simple as learning to cook something new, finding out about healthy eating and cooking tips. So again, healthy eating is going to help you with your mental and your physical health. Taking on a new responsibility at work, such as mentoring a junior member of staff or improving your presentation skills. Working on DIY projects, and again, YouTube and the internet can be amazing for finding out how to do stuff, and video tutorials. There's probably nothing you can't learn how to do on YouTube. Consider signing up for a course at local colleges, and again, there's quite a lot of free stuff out there that you can sign up to. Learning a new language. There's an app, isn't there, that you can use, that you can learn new languages, and it gives you exercises every day. Or trying new hobbies that challenge you, such as writing a blog or taking up a new sport or learning to paint. There's learning comes in so many different forms. Don't feel like you have to as well sit qualifications or sit exams, because sometimes that can be a bit off-putting. And it's best to find, again, activities that you enjoy and make them part of your everyday life. So whether it's doing 5 minutes a day by using your app to learn a Duolingo, that's the one I was thinking of, 5 minutes a day, and sometimes it'll send you little prompts to say, oh, you haven't done your 5 minutes learning today. Or whether you're making them part of your life and asking your boss to maybe say, can I do some learning at work, and would you be able to pay for it? Has anybody been learning something new recently that they can share with the group, or found something free on the internet that they found really useful to help them with skills and buddy stuff?
If I could share two things that people might be interested in, I'll put the links in the chat. I was introduced today to BT, their website. They've got a whole raft of things where you can pop on and learn it. It's not necessarily in the sort of well-being arena, but it's if you want to learn a skill, if you want to brush up on your social media skills, or if you want to improve negotiation skills or anything like, there's a load of different things on there. So I'll share the link with you. So I've just got that open on my computer. And also I work for the Cheshire and Warrington LEP, Local Enterprise Partnership, and they have a project called the Accelerate Programme. And if you are either self-employed or you are employed by somebody else, you can go to your employer and you can say, look, I would really like to learn this skill to help me. It's got to be relevant to your job. It's either got to upskill you or help you, if you're self-employed, improve your business growth in some way. But you pretty much can find any course and they will fund it for you. So we've got people doing like the Chartered Institute of Marketing course. We've got people doing what's it called, Prince project management, people doing advanced social media, and then he said, I've got somebody who's a florist who's put her 2 junior members of staff on an advanced floristry course. So there is a range, and you do need to either be employed or self-employed to access them, but they are completely free, and some of them are very senior level industry standard trainings as well.
Are they just for Cheshire East people?
No, Cheshire and Warrington. Cheshire and Warrington wise. It's run by the Cheshire and Warrington LEP, so it'll be there.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Liz. And obviously we've got these workshops here as well. So next week we will be doing a workshop around oh god, my mind's gone completely blank. It's Merrin's doing the workshop, isn't she?
Is it Merrin's fabulous confidence and presentation skills, probably, or confidence and communication skills?
Resilience.
Does lots of things.
Resilience, that's what she's doing.
Oh, it's resilience. Oh, there you go. She does lots of things.
So yeah, so we, as I said, we've got a few workshops kind of lined up towards Christmas. So we hope that people who've tuned into this have found it useful as well. So some other things, resources for you to have a look at as well. So if you wanted to find a little bit more about the 5 ways to mental well-being, National Mind website has lots of stuff on there, and also check out your local minds about services in the local areas, about things that we do, and I'll send this presentation out to you all as well, so you've got that reference if you wanted to share it with other people. There's also something called Action for Happiness that you might have heard of. So Action for Happiness helps people take action for a happier and kinder world, and it includes lots of tips and apps and calendars to help you for everyday life. So they do a monthly calendar with little mindful tips that you can do every single day. They also have happiness cafes. We're trying to get something set up in Nantwich virtually at the moment, which I'll talk about in a moment, and then face to face when restrictions are lifted, hopefully next year. But there are different ones in different areas. There's an Action for Happiness cafe in Macclesfield, and I know Chester there's a couple of things going on, but the website's brilliant, and they elaborate on the 5 steps to wellness. They've got like a 10 steps to happiness kind of thing that you can look through, but there's loads of resources on there and things that you can pick up, and blogs and all kind of stuff. And also the NHS website, as we've already talked about, has got lots of online resources. If you're feeling stressed, anxious or depressed, you can find tips and tools. There's lots of links to a lot of mental health wellness apps, and Cheshire One U as well has done an awful lot of stuff to get people free memberships to gyms. There was like a 12-week one they were doing earlier this year, and in fact 12 weeks free at Slimming World. So there's lots of free and online resources that you can access through the NHS and through the One New Cheshire website as well. We talked about podcasts, as somebody mentioned about podcasts. Liz and I have just recently launched a Happiness Hub podcast, which will tie into the Happiness Cafe that we want to get set up. We've only recorded 3 episodes so far, and you can listen to that via the Nantwich Buddies website and on Redshift Online. Also, you can find us on Spotify, Amazon, Google Podcasts and iTunes as well. And the idea really about every episode is for Liz and I to talk about things that make us happy, and also to have guests. So we've had several guests on talking about dark times in their lives and how they've found tools and things that they've done to help them get out there, but just generally anything that makes you happy. So whether you've got a business that will help people be happy, or whether you've been through a tough time and you want to let us know, or whether you just want to talk generally about your challenges of mental health and things that have really helped you happy, because it doesn't have to be complicated, and some of those 5 ways to wellness will really fit into that. So come and check us out and let us know what you think. So I know we're coming up to the hour now, we've got a few minutes left, but I just wanted to ask if anybody's taken anything in particular away from today that they're going to do to help them with their mental health, or to feel happier over the next sort of 4 weeks while we're still in lockdown. Anybody taking anything away that they want to share?
I think I would do a bit more investigation of YouTube. I never think of it as when I need to find something out, because I think it's my age, and it just doesn't occur to me to do it. I look things up in books. I don't automatically go to the internet, but I think I will try that a little bit more than I have done in the past. So thank you for the suggestions on that one.
Great, thanks, Charlotte. Yeah, let us know what you find.
Well, some of it perhaps.
Yeah, you can end up spending so much time on YouTube, down leafy lanes and all sorts of things. I mainly watch cat videos and how to make vegan cakes, but that's another that's another topic altogether.
Each to his own.
I'm going to look at the links that you shared, particularly on the BT side of it, and see what they've got to offer, and maybe try and incorporate more of a routine in my exercise. I think it's a little bit like a mountain for me at the moment, because I am so unfit. It's just where to start.
So it's starting off small, but it's also, like you said, about planning your activities as well, because if you don't plan it, then I'll start next week, or I've not got the time to do it. It's very easy to find excuses around things, isn't it? So yeah, planning an activity that's a really good step.
I'm definitely going to have a look at what opportunities there are for blood donation. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah,
See
that's
you
really
there.
helpful, isn't it? Oh, it makes me feel a bit queasy, that though. You get a cup of tea and a couple of biscuits to you, Charlotte.
Oh yes, you do. Yes, and if you don't eat biscuits because you go to Slimming World, you can get a bag of crisps instead.
Fabulous. Good to hear. Okay, so thank you ever so much for everybody for attending today and for joining in. I do hope that's been useful for you guys, and you've taken some ideas away that's going to help you look into a few things around that.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Thank you for your time. Appreciate
yeah.
it.
I've enjoyed it, so thank you very much. Anything else you want to add, Liz, to our Nantwich Buddy stuff?
No, you're in charge of pressing stop on the record button. I'll remind you of that. But no, thank you very, very much, Kedron. I've really enjoyed it. I know you and I have had lots of conversations about this kind of stuff over the years, and it's really nice to see that it's all come together, and great presentation. Definitely got me thinking about some things I need to do. Making time to listen to a mindfulness app, go and do some exercise, making time to do what I've just suggested to all of you, which is look at all those wonderful courses that I'm looking at going, oh yeah, I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that. But yeah, it'll stay there as a pinned tab for 6 weeks if I don't take action and actually do it. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, really important to take time for yourselves, because you can't pour for an empty cup. You know, how can you look after all your lovely clients and your buddies and things if you don't look after yourself? So yeah, that's a really important point there, Liz.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kedron. Lot to think about. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And very clearly, great. Thank you. Enjoyed
Thanks
it.
for joining.